Surah 20, Taa-Haa. Taa-Haa. Ayat 1. O Rasul. Ayat 2. We have not revealed the Qur'an to make your life cumbersome or to deprive you of the pleasant things in life. This code will bestow a pleasant and successful life on you. The initial stages of this revolutionary program shall certainly be difficult, but ultimately it is only you who shall be successful. Ayat 3. The purpose of its revelation is for it to be a source of prosperity and accomplishment for the one who fears that he may be deprived of the bounties of life. Ayat 4. This revelation is from the One, Ar-Rahman, who has created the earth and the high skies, wherein his laws are in operation with complete command. Ayat 5. This is Ar-Rahman, who is in full command and control of the universe. Ayat 6. The entire awe-inspiring universe, from the highest point to the lowest depths, is busy fulfilling his destined program. The objective of this control is that everything in the universe should continue receiving nourishment, and every action should produce the correct and appropriate result. Ayat 7. Given this state of affairs, that everything in the universe is actively fulfilling Allah's program according to his law of mukafat, it makes no difference to him whether you say something aloud or softly. He is aware of every secret of yours, and all your thoughts and intentions, still hidden within you. Ayat 8. In fact, absolute authority in the entire universe belongs to Allah. All his attributes, as mentioned in the Quran, are the reflections of his extremely balanced facets. Ayat 9. In order to understand how one, after passing through initial turmoil, reaches the ultimate goals by following the divine laws, you have to keep in mind the story of Moses. Ayat 10. We start this story from the incident when he saw some fire and said to his companions, "You should wait here, I have seen fire far away. Perhaps I will bring you a burning brand from there, or find someone near the fire who may guide us in the right direction, in the darkness of night." Human intellect, when it is devoid of guidance from wahi, revelation, tries to find its path by such guesswork. Ayat 11. When Moses came close to the fire, a voice called out, "O Moses!" Ayat 12. It is me, your Rab. You have now reached the stage where the long and arduous methods of quest through trial, error and intellectual guesswork are over. Henceforth starts the role of wahi, whereby the absolute truth unveils on its own. You can now be content and leave aside this long quest. That phase is over. Ayat 13. I have chosen you, for an important purpose. Therefore, listen very carefully to what is being revealed to you. Ayat 14. The very first message of this wahi is that I alone am God. No one except me holds any authority in the universe. Therefore, you should obey only me and set up the system of Salah in order to establish the superiority of the divine order. Ayat 15. Keep in mind that through you, a great revolution is about to occur. Our program is that the Quranic social order, which till now was obscure, to the non-observant, should now manifest itself. This order will come so that everyone receives full reward for what they strive for, and the unjust system of exploitation and plundering in the society established by the Pharaoh, Qarun, Korah, and Haman, the high priest of Pharaoh, is finally overthrown. Moreover, in that society the rewards of one's labor are taken away by others. This Quranic order will be brought about only by the enforcement of Nizam as-Salah. Ayat 16. Keep one thing firmly in mind. Do not keep with you the people who do not believe in the impending order, and continue to follow their own selfish desires. Because they will become a hindrance and also a reason for your destruction. This social order will only be brought about by people who are convinced about it and do not have selfish desires. Ayat 17. After this, Moses was given instructions regarding the revolutionary program. These included the art of reasoning and rationale, together with solid arguments to convince opponents and how, at the time of confrontation, to skillfully deal with them firmly. Thereafter, a voice came from the unseen, O Moses. With deep insight, ponder over these commandments and the instructions, and with the sources of strength given to you consider how you will find them. Ayat 18. Moses replied, O my Lord. These laws and instructions are an immense source of strength for me for carrying out my forthcoming mission. Now I will proceed with their assistance and firmly hold on to them at every moment of difficulty, so that I do not falter anywhere. With their help I will drive my herd, of the children of Israel to whom you are sending me as their shepherd. I will change their inactivity and lethargy into action and movement. Besides this, whenever I confront a problem, I will take vision and guidance from these instructions. Ayat 19. You have understood it correctly, was the reply. Now you should present it before the people. Ayat 20. From then onwards, Moses thought about his mission seriously and took stock of the whole situation. He realized that the task of presenting these laws before the people was not easy. He felt as if this gigantic task was like a fast-moving python. Ayat 21. God reassured Moses and told him not to worry, hold on to these laws and instructions firmly. Keep in mind what you had said earlier, that you will also utilize them for beneficial purposes. We will make them a source of strength for you and your nation. Ayat 22. Do not be distressed. On the contrary, be completely calm and tranquil, and with total commitment present your manifesto clearly and rationally. You will surely be safe and successful. This will be the second sign of your success. The first sign would be the destruction of your enemy. The second shall be the rehabilitation of the supremacy and sovereignty of your own people. Ayat 23. All these commandments are being given to you, so that we can show you how great a change can occur through their enforcement. Ayat 24. Now, go to Pharaoh, for he has certainly transgressed all bounds. Ayat 25. When Moses realized the enormity of the task he had been chosen for, and the powerful forces he had to clash with, he prayed, O my Rab. Since this mission is extremely difficult, strengthen and broaden my resolve, so that I am able to face all situations with confidence. Ayat 26. And ease all the hurdles that come in my way. Ayat 27. And make my speech fluent and forceful. Ayat 28. So that they fully understand what I say. Ayat 29 to 32. Out of my kinsfolk appoint my brother Aaron for me, so that he may help me by sharing my task, provide me strength and remain by my side. Ayat 33. So that together we can vigorously involve ourselves in accomplishing the assigned task. Ayat 34. And take one step after the other, so that your divine law and the system become supreme. Ayat 35 to 36. You are surely fully aware of our capabilities, O Moses. We have granted all that you have asked for. Now stand steadfast and do not let anyone divert your attention. Ayat 37. On hearing this, Moses bowed in deep gratitude and said, "This certainly is a great favor." Thereupon he replied, "O Moses, this is not the first time that we have bestowed our favor upon you. This process, of divine favors, started long ago." Ayat 38. When, at the time of your birth, we sent a message to your mother, through one of our messengers. Ayat 39. That she should put the child in a chest and put it in the river. The waves of the river will then cast him ashore, and the one who is his enemy as well as that of our divine laws, will take him away, for adoption. It was in this way that you reached the palace of the Pharaoh and, there are blessings made you lovable to everybody. All this was so arranged because we wanted you to grow up, in the palace, under our guidance, and be familiar with palace etiquette, politics and statecraft, which you were to challenge one day. Ayat 40. And when you arrived at the palace, the members of the Pharaoh's household were concerned about nursing you. At that moment, your sister was passing close by and said, to the Pharaoh's household, "Shall I guide you to a woman who can take full responsibility of looking after him?" This woman was your own mother. In this way, we brought you back to your mother's lap, so that her eyes would remain appeased and she would not grieve about having been separated from her son. Thereafter, when you came of age, you killed a man, but we kept you safe from any grievous consequences. Then, after taking you away from the palace, we put you through the turmoil of a rough and tough life so that you become a real stalwart. You also stayed for several years amongst the people of Midian, as a shepherd. Think about the stages through which you have passed, for it was then that you, O Moses, came up to our standard. Ayat 41. And thus we prepared you for a very special task of ours. It was not by a simple coincidence that while grazing cattle you went to a place to fetch a burning brand. There, we crowned you with Nubuwah. Ayat 42. You and your brother should now go forth to the Pharaoh with my message. And remember, do not show any slackness in following the directives given by me. Ayat 43. So Moses left for the mission, and when his brother Aaron joined him, these divine instructions were repeated. They were told, "Go forth to the Pharaoh, both of you, because now he has transgressed all limits." Ayat 44. When you meet him, converse with him in a gentle manner. It is quite possible that he may take heed, or he may become frightened, of the consequences of his transgression. Ayat 45. They replied, "O our Rab, we are very apprehensive lest he behave insolently with us, takes an offensive position, and become violent." Ayat 46. God replied, "Do not be afraid, I shall also be with both of you. I am all-hearing, all-seeing, and he will not be able to harm you." Ayat 47. Now both of you should go to him without any fear and proclaim, "We are the messengers of your Rab." He decrees you to, let the children of Israel go with us and not to oppress them, any more. If you follow the path decreed by your sustainer, it will bring complete peace. In fact, peace prevails upon everyone who follows his guidance. Ayat 48. And it has been revealed to us that severe punishment will befall whoever belies the divine message and turns away. Now you can decide for yourself which course you want to adopt. Ayat 49. So, when the two brothers conveyed the divine message to the Pharaoh, he said, "O Moses, first of all, tell me who that Rab of yours is, whose message you are giving to me. You know every tribe or community has its own separate God. Which one is yours?" Ayat 50. Moses replied, "Our Rab does not belong to any particular community or group. Our Rab has created everything, and after giving to it instinctive nature and form, guides it towards the path, leading to its destination. As far as human beings are concerned, they are given guidance through wahi, which we are conveying to you. Ayat 51. Then the Pharaoh realized that he had not been able to corner Moses with his line of questioning. And because he was sitting amongst his courtiers who were polytheists like their ancestors, and who according to the divine law explained by Moses were all destined to be in Jahannam, he changed his line of argument. He asked Moses, "What then, in your opinion, is the state of previous generations?" Ayat 52. The Pharaoh had raised this query with a mischievous design, knowing that if Moses said that all of them were in Jahannam, the nobility would rise against him and the issue of the freedom of the Bani Israel would be sidetracked. But the Pharaoh did not know with whom he was dealing. Moses said, "I do not know what condition those people are in. This knowledge rests with my Rabb alone, and it is recorded in his decree, according to which their cases will be decided. Rest assured, neither does he err, nor does he forget. Their cases will be decided according to their deeds." Now once again, listen to the answer to your earlier question about what type of Rabb he is who has sent us to you. Ayat 53. He is the one who has stored means of nourishment for all of you everywhere on this spacious earth, made and traced out ways for your movements, and who sends down water from the sky with which he grows various vegetation and plants. Ayat 54. So that you yourself may eat and also pasture your cattle. In this divine system there are signs, for those who are endowed with reason, that absolute authority and control over the entire universe rests with him. Therefore the Pharaoh's claim that he alone was the great Rabb, that the entire country was his property, and that therefore you all were under his subjugation, was totally baseless. Ayat 55. It is he who created all of you from this earth, in organic matter, and he shall revert your lifeless physical body back to it, and raise you forth once again from it. Therefore, amongst human beings there is no distinction between ruler and ruled, master or slave. He is the real master. All human beings are equal and are his servants. You have now understood what kind of Rabb he is, whose message we have brought to you. Ayat 56. Now the Pharaoh understood the message Moses had brought and the kind of revolution he intended to bring about. Thus, through Moses, we explained in no uncertain terms our laws to the Pharaoh, and also showed him how rightfully they were based on truth and equity. But the Pharaoh refused to accept them and belied them. Ayat 57. He said, "Have you come to us, O Moses, to drive us out of our land by giving us elusive reasons and a false religion?" Ayat 58. In that case we shall certainly meet you with the like, and the reply will be given by our religious priests. So arrange a debate between us and yourself at a place where both stand an equal chance. We shall not fail to attend, nor should you. Ayat 59. Announced Moses, "Your debate shall be on the day of the festival, and let the people assemble when the sun has risen high." Ayat 60. Then the Pharaoh withdrew, collected his stratagem and returned for the debate at the appointed time. Ayat 61. Moses addressed all the priests who had gathered for the confrontation with him, and cautioned them, "Beware. Do not fabricate lies against Allah, lest you are struck by some punishment. You invent your own religious fables and then attribute them to Allah. Beware. The divine law stipulates that whoever does so is doomed to failure. He pulls them out from their very roots." Ayat 62. The impact of this warning was that they started altercating amongst themselves in whispers and secrecy. This too had an adverse effect on the masses who had gathered there. Ayat 63. When the nobles of the Pharaoh saw the reaction of the crowd, they became very upset and told the people, "Do you know what these two brothers, Moses and Aaron, really want? Their real intention is to establish themselves in this land by deceitful means, drive you out from the country, and destroy your religion and cult which is so high and superior. In this way, they shall also take away the grandeur, status and authority of the state and the monarchy." Ayat 64. They addressed the priests and said, "Now forget your differences, concentrate on your strategy and plans, and come forward in unison for the encounter. It is certain that whoever succeeds here shall carry the day." Ayat 65. They asked Moses, "Will you start the debate first, or should we explain whatever we want to say?" Ayat 66. Moses said, "It is better that you start first, and say whatever you want to say in support of your claim." So they presented their own religion as being against Allah's deen, and gave arguments in support of their claims and against those of Moses. Their presentation was so impressive that Moses was apprehensive that they might succeed by their sheer rhetoric and eloquence. Ayat 67. And in his heart Moses became somewhat apprehensive. Ayat 68. We assured him and said, "There is nothing to worry about, surely it is you who will be victorious." Ayat 69. Whatever arguments they have given are deceitful and elusive. Such arguments, of a hallucinatory nature, can never succeed, no matter which quarter they come from. You should therefore present with perspicuous eloquence and clarity the divine laws which you have already found to be a tremendous source of solace and strength to you. Ayat 70. So when Moses presented his case with convincing reasoning, exactly that which Allah had foretold happened. All the clergy of the Pharaoh openly accepted their weakness and exclaimed, "Surely we proclaim our iman on the Rab of Moses and Aaron." Ayat 71. Upon hearing this, the Pharaoh said, "How is it that you have proclaimed your iman on the Rab of Moses and Aaron before I have permitted you to do so? It appears as if Moses is in fact your master, and has taught you all these elusive tricks. Just see what sort of torturous punishment I will give you all. I shall have your hands and feet cut off on alternate sides, or put you in handcuffs and shackles, and crucify all of you on trunks of palm trees. You will see for yourself which one of us can inflict a more severe and lasting punishment." Ayat 72. They heard the threats with complete tranquility and said, "The truth and the evidence that has been unfolded before us is so convincing that we can neither give preference to your fallacious reasoning, nor can we turn away from the one who has brought us into being, to obey you instead. So go ahead and do whatever you want. Furthermore, your decree is confined to life in this world alone, and we do not care much for this life because it does not end here. Life goes beyond to a point on which you have no access or control." Ayat 73. Now that we have expressed iman in our sustainer, we pray to him to keep us safe from the adverse effects of our previous faults and excesses, in particular the trickery and deceitful devices which you forced us to perform. We have now seen that only the divine law is the best. Ayat 74. We do not care much if you still consider us guilty. What matters is who is considered or found guilty before the Rab, and, for whoever appears guilty before him, there is the grievous castigation of Jahannam where he shall remain suspended between life and death. Ayat 75. In contrast, the people who shall have elevated positions are those who appear before him as mu'mineen, those who express iman, and with a valuable treasure of righteous deeds. Ayat 76. For them there shall be gardens of perpetual bliss, through which will be flowing running water. This is the recompense for those who nourish and develop their self. Ayat 77. Thereafter Moses continued training and educating the Bani Israel and, at an appropriate time, we said to Moses, "Now leave Egypt together with our devotees. Do so during the night and take them across that part of the sea where the water has receded. You should not be afraid of being overtaken or drowning." Ayat 78. When Moses left Egypt with his people, the Pharaoh chased them with his forces, but the waves of the sea submerged them and they drowned. Ayat 79. In this manner, the Pharaoh led his people astray and destroyed them, for he had not guided them correctly, although Moses had clearly presented the divine guidance to him. Ayat 80. O children of Israel! We thus delivered you from your enemy, and then on the right slope of Mount Sinai, through the revelation to Moses, we made a covenant with you, for a bright future. And we also provided to you manna and salwa. Ayat 81. Now partake of all the pleasant things we have provided for you, but do not transgress the bounds of equity. If you do that, a dire punishment will fall on you according to the divine law of Mukafat. And remember that people upon whom such chastisement is unleashed fall into an abyss. Ayat 82. The only way to come out of the abyss is to return to the righteous path as ordained. Leave the erroneous path and do virtuous deeds which would not only help them, but would also help mankind put its affairs in order. Thereafter, they should remain steadfast on that right path. Only then will the results of their previous misdeeds be erased. Ayat 83. Also recall that particular part of the story when Moses came to the Mount of Sinai and we asked him, "O Moses, what caused you to leave your people behind in such haste? You should have given more time to their training and education." Ayat 84. He said, "They are closely following my footsteps, and my temporary absence will not upset anything. I have come hurriedly to you for some more guidance, by following which I can complete this mission, as quickly as possible." Ayat 85. The Almighty replied, "In your absence your people are at a turning point and are caught in a turmoil, as Samri, has led them astray." Ayat 86. When he heard this, Moses returned to his people full of wrath and sorrow and exclaimed, "O my people! Did your sustainer not give promises of so many enjoyable things of life? Did the fulfillment of these promises seem to you too long in coming, that you became disappointed with your Rab and instead created your own God? Are you perchance so determined to see your sustainer's condemnation fall upon you, that you broke the promise you had made to me?" Ayat 87. They answered, "We did not break our promises to you of our own free will. This is what actually happened. Taking a cue from the Egyptian people, we cast off all the ornaments which we were wearing. These were suited to urban life, but in the desert, they had become a burden for us. This suggestion was put in our mind by Samiri." Ayat 88. Out of the molten ornaments, Samiri produced for them the effigy of a calf, which made a lowing sound. Therefore the people said, "This is our deity and also that of Moses." But Samiri forgot how Moses would react to this upon his return. Ayat 89. However, all their explanations were useless, because even if Samiri had made them an effigy of a calf, could they not see for themselves that neither was it capable of giving them any answer, nor did it have power to do them any harm or bring any good? Ayat 90. Moreover, Aaron had warned them earlier, "O my people! This person is leading you astray. Only your Rab, not the calf, is our Rahman. Therefore do not listen to him but follow me and obey my command." Ayat 91. But they totally refused and answered, "Until Moses comes back to us, we are not going to stop worshipping it, for we shall see what he says." Ayat 92. Moses turned to Aaron and said, "O Aaron, what prevented you from stopping them when you saw that they had gone astray?" Ayat 93. Why did you not take an action which I would have taken under such circumstances? What was it that prevented you from taking such action, or have you also, deliberately, disobeyed my instructions? Ayat 94. Aaron answered, "O son of my mother, do not reproach me so harshly. I did not stop them so sternly because I feared that on your return you might accuse me of causing a split amongst the children of Israel, and that I did not care for your word. I tolerated their temporary ignorance, but in fact have saved them from sectarianism." After hearing this explanation, Moses was satisfied about Aaron's behavior. Ayat 95. Then he turned to Samri, and said, "What made you do all this?" Ayat 96. He said, "Since I came across your people, I have gained a lot of insight in matters which these people could never have perceived. I had not accepted your commandments in totality, but only a part of them, and had joined your followers for the fulfillment of my own designs. This whole scenario was conceived by me and it appeared to be very attractive. So I abandoned your message which I had accepted only partly, and was able to bring your nation back to idolatry." Ayat 97. Moses told him, "Now go away and get lost. A lifelong chastisement for you will be your complete social boycott. By chance, if someone unknowingly comes to you, you should warn him not to even touch you, because you are the debarred Samiri. This is the decree from which you will be unable to escape. Now look at what happens to the God which you had made and worshipped so steadfastly. We will crush it into dust, burn it and then scatter it, far and wide, across the sea, so that these people can see with their own eyes the helplessness of their idol." Ayat 98. Then turning towards the Bani Israel, Moses said, "Your ilah is Allah alone, and only He has to be obeyed. No one else wields authority in the universe. His knowledge extends over everything, and nothing is beyond His control." Ayat 99. O Rasul, thus we relate to you some of the stories about what happened in the past. In addition to these stories, we have also given you a code of divine laws, which explains the principles of the rise and fall of nations. Ayat 100. Whoever turns away from this code will bear the consequences on the day of judgment, and no one else shall bear this burden. Ayat 101. He will abide in this state. And on that day, how very grievous the weight of this burden will be. Ayat 102. The results of one's deeds also start showing in this life, and this will happen to the people who oppose the truth, and when the trumpets of war are sounded, the guilty will be avenged in such a manner that they will become bleary-eyed with terror. Ayat 103. They will murmur amongst themselves, and tell each other, that our luxurious life, which we thought would last forever, turned out to be so short-lived and transitory, as if it was only there for a week or so. The duration of immediate gain is always short, as compared to eternal life which prevails beyond the count of time. Ayat 104. We understand very well what they will say, in this state of panic, and the more perceptive of them will question the talk for about a week or so. In fact, you will have lived there for not more than a day, as compared to the eternal life. Ayat 105. Hearing the news of this great revolution, they ask you, awestruck, about the fate of the exalted people who are standing firm like mountains. Will they also perish? Tell them, my Rab shall uproot them from the base and scatter them like dust. Ayat 106-107. And they will become so smooth and flat that you shall see no curve, unevenness or ruggedness in them. All their cunning and craftiness will be smothered. Ayat 108. On that day everyone will follow the one who has today invited them towards the divine call, and in whose invitation there is no complexity. All opposing voices will be silenced in the presence of our Rahman, and nothing shall be heard except the trampling of their marching feet. Ayat 109. On that day, any intercession will be of no avail, except only from those who offer acceptable words according to the law of our Rahman. Ayat 110. All this will take place exactly in this fashion because Allah's law of mukafat knows what they have done before and the consequences that will follow and come to the surface at the proper time. How this will occur, they cannot perceive this now. Ayat 111. In this system, provided by the ever-living and self-subsisting Allah, everyone's latent potentialities shall be actualized. They will all voluntarily stand up for strengthening this system, and from the depths of their hearts obey all the divine laws. In contrast, the one who is out to transgress shall end up in despair. Ayat 112. And whoever does righteous deeds, after accepting the truth of the divine system, will have no fear of being wronged by a tyrant or being deprived by an exploiter of whatever is his due. Ayat 113. This is the sublime objective for which we have eloquently and explicitly revealed the Qur'an, and in different ways explained the outcome of an erroneous lifestyle, so that people may remain conscious and steer away from that path. The various historical stories, which have been narrated here, have been given so that they raise awareness, and attain eminence and distinction. Ayat 114. Likewise, these people should observe with reason and conviction that, in reality, supremacy is achieved by being firmly attached to divine laws. This is because these laws are given by the ultimate sovereign and master. And while implementing the Quranic system, O Rasul, do not be in haste, and wait until the full text of wahi in respect of that matter is revealed to you. Wait until your knowledge is further increased, and only then you should take the next step. Ayat 115. It is dangerous to follow one's instincts without receiving guidance from wahi or to ignore it after it has been acquired. This has been earlier explained in the Quran in an allegorical manner, while narrating the story of Adam. As has been explained there, the story of Adam is not that of an individual. It is in fact the story of mankind. Earlier, we had commanded Adam, mankind, not to lose sight of the guidance revealed in wahi, but he disregarded it. In fact, we did not find him resolute. That he generally lacks firmness in his resolutions is the fundamental weak point in a human being. And this weakness can be overcome by believing in the divine laws. Ayat 116. This allegorical story pertains to the period when we commanded all Malaika, the heavenly forces, to bow before Adam, and they all did so except Iblis. He refused to bow before him. In other words, except for his own rebellious desires, the heavenly forces can be conquered by a human being. This, however, can only be done if he makes his desires subservient to divine guidance. Ayat 117. And we told Adam, this is your enemy as well as that of your spouse, lest it drive both of you out of this blissful life of Jannah. The result will be that you will be deprived of all life's necessities, which presently are easily and abundantly available to you, and to attain them again, you will have to labor hard and strenuously. Ayat 118. At present, with the kind of life you are leading, you do not have to worry about your food or clothing. Ayat 119. You suffer neither from thirst, nor from the heat of the sun. You get all the food to eat, water to drink, clothes to wear, and houses to live in. All this is available without struggle. This was the society in which mankind was living in the early stages of human life. Ayat 120. Later, personal and selfish interests started arousing fears and apprehensions in his mind. The most alarming was the fear of death. Man did not want to die. Satan took advantage of this weakness and exploited it. Satan said to him, "Should I lead you to a tree, the fruit of which will give you eternal life and a kingdom which will never decay?" Satan said that man can have eternal life through his offspring. Therein lies his continued existence. His progeny will keep his name alive. Therefore, he should forget the good of humanity and keep in view only the interests of his own children. Ayat 121. Man fell into this trap and instead of promoting universal brotherhood, got involved in racial complications. This can be allegorically explained like this: then both Adam and his wife ate the fruit of this tree. Thereafter, they became conscious of their private parts, following which they started covering themselves with leaves from the garden. In this way man disobeyed his Rabb, as a result of which his livelihood and means of nourishment became disorderly. He started treading the wrong path and went astray. Ayat 122-123. But this does not mean that man will remain deprived forever. The chances still remain for him to reclaim the pleasant things by coming back on the right track. Accordingly, Adam was told that social life would come down to a lower level where selfish ambitions would make people enemies of one another. Nevertheless, guidance from us would continue coming to you. Whoever follows this guidance will neither go astray, nor be deprived of the pleasures of life, nor be involved in the rigors of life, as stated in above. In this way Allah guided him towards the path leading to all kinds of exhilaration. Mankind was thus saved from eternal ruination. Ayat 124. At the same time it was also explained to him that means of subsistence would be restricted for whoever turns away from divine laws. Furthermore, on the day of judgment, we shall raise him as if he was blind. All the bright and shining avenues of life shall darken for him, and this result will occur in this life as well as in the hereafter. Ayat 125. And he shall ask, "O my Rabb, why have you raised me blind whereas I had been endowed with perfect sight?" Ayat 126. Allah will reply, "You remained oblivious and disregarded our laws when they were conveyed to you. In the same manner you have been disregarded and deprived of the light of life, and have been left alone." Ayat 127. Whoever rejects the truth of the laws of his Rabb, and is defiant and insolent, will be recompensed according to our law of mukafat in the same measure. That is, in this world their economy will be restricted and destroyed, and, in the life hereafter their suffering will be very severe and persistent. Ayat 128. O Rasul! Can they, those who reject the truth, not learn any lesson by recalling the earlier nations, which went against our laws and, which we destroyed according to this very law, and in whose dwellings they are walking around? In historical evidence, there are indeed ample indications for those who ponder and think. Ayat 129. The fact of the matter is, if according to your Rabb's law of respite the hour of manifestation was not already established, then the decreed punishment of doom would have ensued a long time ago. Ayat 130. Therefore, patiently bear whatever they say. Do not lose heart. Instead, remain steadfast in your mission, from morning to evening and even in the late hours of night. At all times become completely involved in your mission, to establish the divine system, so that for the world it becomes the true evidence of His glory. This is the manner in which all your wishes will come true. Ayat 131. Do not even look at the splendor of worldly things which we have allowed to various classes of people. And do not let it bother you that people who are on the erroneous path are so prosperous, while those on the right course are undergoing hardships. Actually, this pomp and glitter is a sort of crucible into which we have thrown them. These people will burn in their own fire, and eventually you will see that real and everlasting happiness lies in whatever you get according to the divine Nizam-e-Rububiyya. Ayat 132. You should therefore insist upon your people to always remain active and busy in fulfilling the divine mission. You should remain steadfast and firm. You should also inform them that the divine system does not ask you to provide any sustenance. Although presently it appears that it is taking everything away from you, in fact it undertakes the full responsibility for your sustenance, and those who, at present, are taking care of this will ultimately receive all kinds of bounties. Ayat 133. The opponents are now asking why this Rasul is not bringing a visible sign from his Rabb, so that after seeing it everyone would express their Iman. Tell them, truth is not made supreme by exhibiting such signs. It is made so on the basis of reason and logic. Just ask them, is there any line of logic or reasoning in the scriptures of earlier Anbiya that you do not find in the Quran? Ayat 134. And if we had destroyed them by punishment before the Quran was revealed, they would, indeed, be justified in saying, O our Rabb! If only you had sent a Rasul to us, we would have followed your message rather than being humiliated and disgraced. Ayat 135. In any case you can tell them, there is no use in wasting time in discussing unnecessary things. You should continue following your own way, and I will follow mine. And then I will wait for the results of my program, while you wait for yours. Soon you will come to know who has followed the even and straight path, and has reached the desired destination.